and welcome to Shell Point Today for Monday, September 5th. It's Labor Day, and I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi.
And I'm Rich Nation. Thanks for joining us on Labor Day. On this show today, we will meet with Beth Crenshaw to talk about the volunteer opportunities that are currently available. And resident Nita DeWeese will remind us about the tea dance coming up later this week.
But first, don't forget about tomorrow's Health Connection class entitled Faith and Fitness. Pastor Andy Hawkins of the Village Church will discuss how our spiritual and physical makeup go hand in hand. When we think about the physical and the spiritual dimensions of our lives, how often do we think of the connection they have with each other? In this class, Pastor Andy will help us understand the relationship between the two and how our efforts toward personal fitness can become a true spiritual discipline. The class begins at 1 p.m. in the Grand Cypress Room tomorrow for those who've signed up.
If you enjoy fresh seafood and waterfront dining, then we have just the outing for you on Wednesday. You can enjoy lunch at Lashley Crab House in Punta Gorda. Feast on blue crab, Alaskan king crab, and snow crab. It's all fresh and arrives daily. There's also steaks and sushi on the menu. Lunch selections range from $9 to $13, and the cost of the outing is $8. Court pickups begin on the island at 10 a.m., so make sure you sign up.
On Thursday, you can enjoy a special presentation from the Bailey Matthews National Shell Museum on Sanibel. Learn all about mollusks from a marine biologist during this one-hour program. You'll see live mollusks and other fascinating shells common to the Southwest Florida area. Learn how they form, where they live, what they eat, and more. It's all happening right here at Shell Point.
Ah, here at Shell Point. Get it?
I do. This live mollusk presentation begins at 2:15 p.m. in the Social Center on Thursday, so come on out.
She sells seashells by the seashore at Shell Point.
Yes, I get it.
Seashells at the cell? I can't even say it. It's a tongue twister. Seashells at Shell Point.
Well, moving right along, it's time to talk about some of the many volunteer opportunities that are available. Let's see if this guy can keep it together long enough for an interview with Beth Crenshaw to discuss these volunteer opportunities.
Hello, Shell Point. It's Rich Nation here along with volunteer coordinator Beth Crenshaw, and we're visiting on the set today to talk about some of the volunteer opportunities that are coming up this fall and available right now. And Beth, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Rich.
I hear you have a lot going on. In fact, we recently did a spot down at the UPS room, which was a lot of fun.
It was.
Those guys have way too much fun over there, and so
it's not like work.
No. So we wanted to show that to the viewers, you know, how fun it can be to volunteer there. And in fact, we've got some more pieces like that we're going to do, where you're going to be going to various departments and working with them and seeing how it is firsthand to volunteer there.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be more of that like training atmosphere. So what do we have planned? The library?
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of that Mike Rowe's Dirty Job show that used to come on, where he would go somewhere and they would train him how to do this impossible job, except ours is quite possible. In fact, it's, like I said, can be a lot of fun and a good way to get involved here. So what have you got going on here, Beth?
I know. I've got paperwork. I've got a lot of updates and information to share about this upcoming season and hours of operations for certain departments. So
cool.
I can just maybe start by sharing a few of these with you.
I'm anxious to hear what you have.
Yeah. We've got the Gulf Coast Model Railroad, or Model Train Room, is going to be opening October 3rd. That's their grand opening.
Oh, that's great.
So that's a Monday.
Yeah, and I've been in there. They've got a lot of new stuff going on.
They do. Yeah, they've been working really, really hard all summer long, and it was a disaster down there from cleaning and changing and adding new features, and now it is all put back together, and they're ready to rock and roll with it.
That place is amazing. I think if I lived here, I would spend all my time over there, because you can just really lose yourself in that whole make-believe world, but it's based on a very real world, actually, the state of Florida, and it's just so cool to see every year they add something new.
They do, and this year they've done that as well. Some pretty neat features. So they're going to be open on Monday, October 3rd, and that is the hours for tours are 1:30 to 3:30, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Okay.
Open to the public. And what they also have this year, they have a nice TripAdvisor's page. So that's been created. They're doing pretty well with their ranking, but reviews are always welcome.
Now, can you explain that to somebody who may not know what you mean by TripAdvisor?
Sure, yeah. TripAdvisor is a website that offers information and reviews on locations throughout the world. And the Gulf Coast Model Railroad is one of the attractions featured in TripAdvisor. There are some pictures on there, the hours of operation are there, and it leaves a place for you to comment, review it, and talk about your experience there.
So
as
it's
well.
like an app or a website where people can go if they're looking for a good restaurant locally or a good attraction.
Yes, yep. So it's there. So if you go and have a wonderful experience, which I'm sure you will,
Right.
They prefer the reviews and appreciate them all.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. The trade room is also looking for docents for the season.
Okay.
So, and the docents are basically the tour guides there that go around and explain what the features on the railroad are.
Now, do they need to know all about that before going into
There's
it?
plenty of training.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yeah.
Training, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
What
also,
else?
New to this year, the art studio right next door to the train room is also going to be open for tours of the gallery. So they'll have artwork up from all the resident artists, and that'll be open for viewings also Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 1:30 to 3:30. They'll have a sign saying that art exhibit is open, but it gives somebody that visits the train room just another something else to do while they're there.
Cool.
Down in the creativity
Right.
tunnel. So that's new and exciting for the art studio this year.
Yes, very much, very much.
Let's see, the gift shop is going to continue their summer hours through the month of October. So that's the first time they have done this. Normally summer hours end in September.
Okay.
They're continuing the summer hours through October this year.
Extended hours.
So the fall hours start in November.
Okay.
So through October, the hours will be 9:30 to 12:30.
Okay.
Birthday gifts, jewelry, prices are awesome.
Great.
The cards there, you can't believe, you can get a gift card, you can get a greeting card for 50 cents.
These here,
Yeah.
a lot of them are made by residents,
They are, yeah.
and they look astounding.
Yeah, they're nice quality, and
Yeah,
the prices, you can't beat it.
Okay, so what else we got
there's
going
that. The community thrift store is always looking for volunteers. It's such a big business there.
Right.
They always need people, and there's so
It
much
stays
to
busy.
do
It's
there.
a busy
It does.
place.
It is a busy place.
They move
yeah.
a lot of merchandise in and out of there.
They do. They
And
do. I've actually
clothes
worked there.
go so quickly.
The clothes go super quick. So they're actually looking for more clothing.
Okay.
So any residents that are here and maybe time to clean out a closet.
Time to get ready for their fall and winter fashions that they want to buy. So they need to make room for them
Yes.
and bring the other stuff to the thrift store.
Yeah, so they can take them over there, drop them off at the thrift store themselves, or they can call 2190 for a pickup here at Shell Point,
And they'll just come get them.
and they'll come and get them for them.
That's great.
Yeah. Yep. So those donations are always appreciated. Their hours stay the same year round. So Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got that. A couple other things, just calling out for volunteers. Adopt a Road begins in September. So on September 17th, we will have a crew of Shell Point volunteers out on Shell Point Boulevard, and
we're going to have a piece coming up about that soon.
I wanna
right
join
here on
them.
Shell Point TV.
yeah.
And you're going to get out there and pick up trash.
I am. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Are you?
It's a fun group of volunteers, and it makes a difference.
Well, that's what I see. No matter what the area is, people are volunteering here. They know how to make it fun and have good camaraderie. And
They do. Yep, they do. So that starts again. 8 o'clock is when they get out there, so it's before the
Gets too
midday
hot.
heat. Yeah,
Right, well,
8
that's good.
o'clock, and it's the third Saturday of every month
Okay.
that Adopt a Road meets. So they're always looking for people. The assisted living buildings always have opportunities for volunteers as well.
oh, okay.
Yep, they've got their little country stores. They also need shoppers and just helping out with any events and special events and things that are happening there. So there's that one. What else do we have? The library, which will be there soon again.
Right.
But they are looking for front desk help at the library. Yeah, yep. So that's available. And the UPS, we did that promo for it. Again, if people are interested in volunteering opportunities there, they are available.
Excellent.
And, yep, hang out and drink coffee and eat donuts.
There you go.
It was fun. We also have, I brought the volunteer hour sheet. If volunteers don't have these, I do have them in my office, and I'm happy to mail them. But this is how we keep track of all volunteers' hours, which are important.
Yeah, Beth, those volunteer hours sheets are very important because I understand that's how you generate your list for the appreciation banquet.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the volunteer appreciation banquet, we can have save the dates for March 23rd of next year.
That's when it is.
That's when it is. Hours are to be submitted at the end of the year. So the end of December, they turn the hours in, and those hours are all entered in and calculated, and the invitation list is generated through that.
Great. I'm sure everyone's looking forward to it. I hear you have something special planned this year.
Yes, this will be a very exciting volunteer appreciation event, something new that's never happened before. So,
wow.
Yeah, we'll share more details as we get a little bit closer.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm anxious to hear about it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Beth, for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
Telling us what's going on. So if you want to get involved with any of these, or more than one if you want, volunteer opportunities, give Beth Crenshaw a call, and she'll get you all set up. And watch for some of our volunteer opportunities video pieces that will be airing very soon. The Resident Dance Committee has been promoting social dancing at Shell Point since 2011. It's one of the many enjoyable activities available here that you can take part in. Coming up this Thursday, there will be an early evening tea dance. For more information, here's committee member Nita DeWeese.
Hi, I'm Nita DeWeese, and I'd like to invite you to the tea dance that will be held in the Grand Cypress Room in the Woodlands on September 8th from 4 to 5:30 p.m. We have many residents who love to dance living at Shell Point. We're all about the same age, give or take 15 years, and most of us went to dances from high school through college. During the raising of our families, dancing took a back seat. However, now that we can indulge ourselves, we have found dancing has made a comeback here at Shell Point. Some of us line dance, some ballroom, and some just what we used to call the old two-step. Shell Point puts on 2 dances a year, spring and fall. But those of us who line dance wanted more, so we formed a resident committee and sponsored a New Year's Eve dance in 2011. Success is a great instigator. We then added a summer dance in 2015 and 2016. Again, success. Last fall, the committee decided to sponsor an afternoon tea dance, which we held at the Hut. Well-known local entertainer Jerry Dyke provided the music. The Hut has since closed, so the committee decided to try some afternoon tea dances right here at Shell Point. We've lowered the ticket price for these dances as they are only from 4 to 5:30, but we are furnishing cake, coffee, tea, or lemonade, and are still providing Jerry Dyke for dancing and listening. For $5, even if you don't dance, just listening to Jerry's music and eating cake is a bargain. I get a big kick out of watching our residents doing the twist or jitterbug even if I'm not dancing, especially those in their 80s and 90s proving they've still got it. We've limited the ticket sales to 80 so everyone has room to dance. Contact any of us for tickets, and if the past holds true, we will be sold out before the 8th of September. For tickets or more information, contact one of the resident dance committee members listed on screen, and we'll see you on September 8th in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands at 4 p.m.
And now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections, right after this Listening to the Words preview from David Howenstein.
I'll bet many of my listeners didn't catch the Listening to the Words program 140 when it aired in January of 2014. Others may like to hear it once more. It all begins with Charles Carman's poem, The Innocents, which includes the line, "Our paved street used for roller skates, kick the can, Red Rover, bicycles, and hide and seek. Then Pat Janda remembers the white dress that was, as she put it, a bit tight, so she went on a diet of nothing but apples. And Dorothy Howe Brooks remembers her mother telling her that a coiffed head and a single strand of pearls would see her through anything. The program also remembers the days of the clothesline, including the lines, "The clothesline was a newscast to neighbors passing by. No secrets could we keep when clothes were hung out to dry." And you won't want to miss Shell Point resident Kate Sullivan reading a thoughtful article about an assisted living resident. David Howenstein reminding you that you can listen to all that and more by tuning to Shell Point Channel 12 anytime, any day this week for this 30-minute encore performance from January of 2014. As it was then and remains today, thank you for listening to the words.
Hello, welcome to the Happenings segment of Shell Point TV. I'm Bev Chandley, and I'm here to tell you the activities that we offer for you here today at Shell Point. We're going to start with 8 o'clock men's round robin tennis down at the Woodlands tennis courts. Also at 8 o'clock we have pickleball down at the game courts behind the Resident Activity Center. Virtual bowling will be in the Resident Activity Center at 8:45. 9:15 we have billiards also at the Resident Activity Center. Our Lollygaggers Paddlers group will be leaving from the kayak storage facility at 9:15 for their weekly outing. At 9:15 we have pottery with instruction available down in the pottery studio. Men's match play tennis will be at the Woodlands at 10 o'clock. And we'll move on to 10:30 for Disciple Men's Bible Study group at the game room at the Woodlands. Table tennis playing clinic will be going on in the Tarpon room at 10:45. And that's our last activity of the morning. The afternoon begins at 12 o'clock with Mahjong. That'll be in the Sable room of the Woodlands. Zumba Fitness will be in the Health Club at 12:45. And 1:15 is the time for Samba, the card game, at the Resident Activity Center. And at 5 o'clock we have the singles table available at the Crystal Dining Room. Duplicate Bridge will be in the game room of the Woodlands at 6:30, and that's our final activity for today. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you back here again tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Terry Kolath, the manager in the Resident Life Department here at Shell Point. I manage your Academy of Lifelong Learning. Maybe some of you are new to Shell Point, and I'd like to take just a moment to tell you about our registration procedures. Many more of our residents are using our online registration system, and that's great. When you do use it, if you successfully do a registration request, a message comes up to you that you will look for your confirmation in Shell Point mail. If you elect to register at either service desk, which is our other option, you will also get a confirmation of your request in your Shell Point mail. And I urge you to look carefully at your confirmation to make sure that you did indeed get into the class you were trying to register for, instead of being put on a wait list. Sometimes we have to have a wait list, and there's a good reason for that. Many of our instructors prefer a smaller, more intimate atmosphere. Perhaps they're teaching a painting class or a drawing class. Perhaps they're teaching a room full of people with their first iPads. Perhaps they're teaching people how to write more clearly, and they're sharing, and they want to have the group manageable. Sometimes we just can't have a larger room than we have available, and so we have to control the class size. So there may be reasons to get on a wait list. Now, we do have a cancellation policy, and that's all listed in your Academy brochure, but just to talk a minute about it, 24 hours before the class starts is fine for a cancellation policy, except sometimes we have, for instance, a trip that has to be paid for farther ahead, or a class with, say, art supplies that we have to order farther ahead. In that case, if we have a wait list, somebody from the wait list will be called to take your spot, and they will take the charges. If you have any more questions about that, please give me a call. I'd love to talk to you. And I'd love to talk to you if you'd like to participate as a presenter. Now I'd like to tell you a little bit about this semester. I'm very excited about it. We have two fascinating Coffee with a Neighbor programs right off the bat. The first one is with Martin Chappell, our Executive Vice President for Shell Point. He's going to spend some time with the lucky people who were able to get tickets for his Coffee with a Neighbor #1. He prefers a more intimate space for interchange, and he's going to have his program in the Grand Cypress Room. If you weren't able to get a ticket, don't worry about it. You'll have other opportunities to get to know him better. George Waters of Palm Acres will also share fresh insights from his recent time in Cuba with his Coffee with a Neighbor focused on teaching videography in Cuba. We have a nice, timely look at politics this semester. We're introducing two newer residents who just happen to be political science professors. Melissa Butler of Royal Bonnet will boost our electoral knowledge, and Wayne Swanson of Turbin will tackle the implications of the angry voter and the current presidential election. And then he'll bring us where the debates and polls are taking us in his presentation, Debates, Polls, and What's Next. Our senior pastor of the village church, Reverend Andy Hawkins, will provide us with a biblical view of church and state, always of interest, and particularly now. And Dick Brown, who teaches our Academy math classes that are geared to those who never liked math, will give us a fascinating look at voting systems around the world and right here in the United States. Looking at politics beyond our borders that surely do affect us here is Thomas Terrell. He's a retired international lawyer and former economic advisor to the UK government. He'll discuss the rise again in Europe of those dangerous isms of the 1930s, nationalism and socialism. Yes, he will also speak to the ramifications of Brexit, as he did last semester. And then our favorite historian, Professor Adrian Kerr, has several brand new classes for us, including the world's most famous trees from history, a class on Edison, Westinghouse, and Tesla. Then he's going to explain partition to us, how England managed the separation of Southern Ireland, of Pakistan, and of India. And he has a brand new round of trivia for another Lunch with Trivia contest. There's also art. Herb Sklar of Eagles Preserve never stops coming up with new and exciting opportunities to challenge our creativity in the arts. And Debbie Malkai of Periwinkle never stops with new and exciting crafts. And we have writing and word usage and birds and butterflies and the changing face of nature. We are even having a birthday party for America's first great woman composer, Amy Beach. Her music is included. We have some amazing Academy on the Go educational field trips, some Legacy Foundation seminars that keep us right on top of all things financial, from the implications of Brexit on investing to identity theft. Experts will also take us into the heart of the Syria refugee crisis, and also we'll learn how photojournalism keeps us in touch with the world. And there's more. I look forward to sharing it all with you. Our resident hosts and I will be glad to greet you at the door when you come to class. We look forward to seeing you at an Academy class soon.
Menus for Monday. In the Crystal Room, they are having a Labor Day buffet for $14.95. The soup of the day is cream of chicken. In the Island Cafe, the sandwich special is hot beef pastrami on a Kaiser with potato salad for $7.95. And the Palm Grill is closed on Mondays. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Scott Eding, the employee chaplain. Did you know that Labor Day was started by a union throwing a picnic for all the workers who belong to that union? They want to celebrate the strength and prosperity and the well-being that the workers were bringing to others in the whole country. And so it began, and then it spread very quickly. Soon there were parades in different cities as other unions joined in, and then there was a competition trying to decide who actually started Labor Day, because there's a little bit of argument. Two different parties claim that they were the first ones. But Labor Day is a special day, and you will notice that things are going to be very, very quiet around Shell Point, as many of the laborers of Shell Point are off today. And because we want to stay with the foundation of Labor Day, just remember it's a day to celebrate and give thanks to laborers, those who are workers, who help all of us have more strength, have better well-being, and just prosper throughout life. Remember, there's a really important scripture passage that says, I thank God whenever I remember you. May you be thankful for the workers around here. This is Scott Eding again with Village Church Connections.
Thanks for joining us for today's program. Tomorrow, we will hear about the TV channel upgrade that Technology Services will be performing, and Michelle Tompkins of Resort Services will take us to the Shell Museum for a sneak peek at what to expect from the mollusks presentation on Thursday. It's Shells and Shell Point on tomorrow's Shell Point Today program with Michelle.
Shells. Are you going to start that again? This has been Shell Point Today for Labor Day, Monday, September 5th. I'm Mary Kay Grimaldi, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Hey, I didn't get a chance to say my name.
They all know who you are.